Hello? Hello? Mr. Obama?
Streaming was a mistake. All right, so
I'm sorry I betrayed you like this.
I'm taking a scar, BRB. All right.
Hello?
So,
Mr. Obama?
please, we have to play a game.
Yep, okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. That was in character, by the way.
Awful.
You just hear that over the throat mics.
All right, Reverie.
Bishop Finmal? I'm drowning, Bishop Finmal.
Then perish.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Okay. Part 2, making repairs. Sit in silence for a minute and think about the following questions, then tell the other player the answers. What do you notice about the other person? What are they thinking about right now? I can go?
Yeah.
I think I noticed that Tower is close to shutting down. As I've seen this before. And I think what they are thinking about is a like, and I think this is sort of a shift in Dredge's perception as well of like you weren't thinking about what, you know, in an almost childlike way where it's like you weren't acknowledging the actions and mistakes of your other squad mates because you don't think your natural state is not one where you're thinking about anyone's actions but yourself.
You're not wrong.
And so everything that went wrong must be because you did it, because who else could possibly be involved. That is what I think is going through your head right now.
Yeah. I think Tower notices about Dredge that Can I establish something about the scene, or
Sure.
or about like how Dredge is?
Yeah.
I think that they notice that Dredge doesn't have a core mask on. I think either at some point in the scene or before, because Ko had a bunch of bandages on and it was just sort of getting in the way. That Ko took core mask off.
Yeah.
And I think Tower thinks that Dredge is this is hard. I think Tower thinks that Dredge is again, kind of selfishly thinking about, their fuck ups. Because, what you said isn't wrong. Or not entirely, anyway. Like, Although I think it's a combination of the childlike self-centeredness and also just like depression, baby.
Love to be comorbid.
Yay! Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, yeah, I think Tower is just sort of convinced that there is like a hatred steeping deep within Dredge. Yeah. And I don't think they will say anything about it, but that's what they think's up anyway.
Mm-hmm. Conducting the game. The person feeling the more guilt goes first.
Hello?
Begin with an apology. As before, players alternate asking questions from the list below, triggering a shared reverie between the two characters. The player who asks the question frames the new scene by describing the time and location. It's the same conceit, I think. Oh no, okay. Within the reverie, players may describe details from the past, engage in conversation, or narrate events in the scene. If a person mends their relationship with the other or atones for a past wound decided by the possessor of the token, the other person removes a scar token. When both players agree that the reverie is over, snap or clap simultaneously, and the conversation in Mech restarts. The player who atoned then states an insight they gained for how to repair the mech. If there are still scar tokens remaining, the next person asks a new question. To end the game, once both players have removed all of their scar tokens, narrate repairing the mech. Then proceed to the final game, testing the waters.
I think there's a long while of just kind of silence. Like, I think Tower is in the guts of the Magpie, just like trying just fruitlessly to, I think, like solder something together or like work out some weird, like, because the Magpie is fucking weird. Just like work out some intricacy of design or connection or whatever. And I think there's like a solid 20 minutes of just like silence. I think they sort of like very, very quietly and like with a almost like a tentative smile in their voice, say like, hey, do you remember when we found out that Scratch made us kidnap a mech band? Or a mech band, a metal band?
God.
And I think they're trying not to smile because I think they found like, I think what it was is they like got inside the cockpit and found like the gun that was pointed at your head.
Right.
That you just sort of left there.
Yeah.
And I think like that's sort of what spurs the question anyway.
I was so fucking scared before that and during that and for a fucking metal band.
Yeah. I mean, Scratch be like that.
Yep. They sure fucking do.
Did we ever find out why they did that?
Yeah, it was the ostensibly it was for the meeting between Bishop Finmal and the Dark Room and Lady Elrith. It was a spy thing, which is why we weren't told anything about it.
Couldn't they just make a phone call?
No one in this goddamn war can be bothered to make a phone call. Not a single goddamn idiot.
They have to get the corpse people to kidnap a mech band.
Us of all people. Us?
I mean, bodies are bodies are bodies, I guess. Except that they're not, because that's not how that works.
No, not even remotely. Why? Hey, didn't you have like there was someone in the Big Mech, right? Who was that?
Wait, there was someone in the Big Mac?
In the Big Mech, yeah. That like fucked up the truck that you were driving?
Out of character. Tower doesn't know that that was
A word?
Alice.
That's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah, no, Tower never found out.
Okay.
Uh,
No, yes they did.
did they?
Because Dredge went back and took Alice out of the wreck
Oh, yeah.
on your request.
Okay. I'm big dumb gay baby.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, sorry, retcon that. Because the player is dumb. Yeah, shit. That was a lot. That was so much. Like, my ex was there. She wasn't like a nice ex, she was a shitty ex.
Yeah.
The two distinct categories of ex.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it be.
That's what I'm finding.
God, there are so many exes. Do you think Harrow and his ex got back together?
I truly severely doubt it, and I hope that they didn't.
Just out of spite or
No,
out of care for the ex?
I think what was his name? Fuck.
Is this in character?
This is in and out of character.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah. Shit. Austin, help us. Virgil Bane.
Virgil Bane.
Thank you, Austin. That's such a good name.
It's a good name. Yeah, Virgil Bane does not deserve that kind of grief, I think.
Fair. You know, having known Harrow, I don't think anyone deserves that kind of grief.
I mean, Patsy for the Jovengelians and all.
Fuck.
That I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had that sit down with who the fuck was it? Was it the raccoons? It was the raccoons. Do you remember when we had that sit down with the raccoons?
At the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Only vaguely. For not the reason you think. Was that the time I poured a drink on that guy's head? I've been in a lot of bars.
You know, that's true. That's fair. No, I don't think that you did. That encounter would have ended a lot more violently if you had, I suspect.
Yeah. Oh, that was that guy with the really like expensive shitty whiskey, right?
Yeah, the dude with no taste.
Gross.
I always thought that went pretty well, though.
Speak for yourself.
All things considered, it could have got a lot worse, and it didn't.
Fair. I got to be a janitor. Some guy got my number. He still has my number.
That's okay. The entirety of the Society for Wider Understanding has my email.
Shit.
Yeah, I
feel like
think
that's bad.
I think someone else in that building has a similar name to mine because I keep getting their mail.
Corporate incompetence.
Mm-hmm. It's the best kind.
It's tasty. And I think I'm okay with ending it there. Just
Yeah.
with it's tasty. Do you remember the first time I helped you repair this mech? Or the Magpie.
Mm-hmm.
I momentarily forgot what the Magpie was called.
Yeah. Let's see, when was the last time it got damaged?
Every fucking mission.
Every fucking mission. It really could be. It could have been any of them. So I guess after was the first one? No, the first one wasn't split. That was the second one. The first one was retrieving.
Broken Bank.
Yeah, retrieving.
Was that the one with the bomb bodies, or was that the other one?
No, that was the other one. Saint Gertrude. Getting Saint Gertrude. Getting her AI, which infected your mech for a long time, huh?
Was that what that was?
I think that's what that was.
Shit. She's chill as hell.
You know, I liked Gertrude.
Yeah. Why did I get rid of her from my mech? She's like tight as hell. I think I've had one conversation with her.
Yeah, absolutely no taste in women, but you know.
You know.
Can't
Pot kettle.
Fair. Yeah, the first time this got fucked up. Yeah, I think your repairs are actually still in place. I think it was probably something to do with there is a section of the Nell, the sort of the array of vertical rods in the belly that produce the sound that both hovers and also detects artificial and meat life. Here's a good word for that. What is the word for that?
Organic?
Organic, thank you. Yes. Artificial and organic life.
And meat life.
Listen.
Yes. Meat like Zach and Cody.
The organic life of Zach and Cody? What the fuck?
It's just Zach and Cody.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm
anyway,
done.
So there's a section of that array that you helped with because you are smaller than I am, and I needed somebody to get between the rods and reconfigure that section.
I will say, Tower is canonically 5'1".
That is smaller than Dredge is.
Yes, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Tower's shorter than me, and I'm almost 5'3".
Wow.
I'm a teeny tiny boy.
You're a very small fellow. That's very good.
Shit. Do you think the Nell like hovers at a slightly higher pitch? Right there? Oh my god. Did Tower just make it like a perfect fifth interval?
Yes.
Because Tower is terrible.
Which is fascinating because the sound that the Nell produces is not a pleasant one, and so the one that is above it in the perfect fifth, still not nice to listen to, but
no.
that that relative distance is accurate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
It
just
sounds slightly nicer.
bad. Just
Mhm.
bad. Hmm. Do you think that's the scene?
I think that's enough, yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to like work on actually resolving shit. Yeah.
I think we've made some strides. I forgot. I wish
Yeah.
I had labeled my token because I don't remember what this grievance is.
It's well, you can make text, but it's like I'm fairly sure it's
I can name it, yeah.
Tower calling you out on like being a hypocrite, essentially.
Yeah. Being alone and expecting anyone else to not be alone.
Yeah.
That's descriptive.
Look,
Uh-huh.
it's how Tower phrases it in hindsight.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you first called me a friend?
Do you want to frame this?
I don't know if it was like during a mission or like during like oh, tell me.
I think Tower like Dredge and Tower went into town to like pick up some spare parts / chicken nuggets, etc. for like just like stuff like we're doing groceries. And Tower ran into one of their old friends from the circus and introduced Dredge as their friend. Like, oh hey, this is my friend Dredge. We work together, kind of thing. Like, and I don't know how Dredge felt or feels about that.
I mean, I think in the moment it was like, oh, okay, adjusts to this quickly. And I think that we had a really great conversation with that person and ended up getting like lunch, being like, hey, there's a place right there. Why don't you catch up? And I think that Dredge had at the time offered to bow out to let y'all like catch up. Did you take co-op on that?
Oh, absolutely not. Like, Tower's a theater kid. Tower wants everyone to meet everyone. And does not believe in the concept of third wheeling. Yeah, I think Tower originally wants to go get chicken nuggets. And the two of you, like you and circus friend, very quickly shoot them down on that. Where do you think we went?
The kind of food that we got? I think it was definitely like I think it was a little local place that Dredge likes a lot but doesn't get a chance to have very often. Just because of like the way that course schedule and the place's hours are just very rarely overlap. And also they don't deliver. So
especially not to the weird proxy moat church.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they just don't deliver to us. Yeah, it's like a I don't know specifically what it is. I think it's unusually healthy. I think it has like really good salads, and in the sense that there's like fruit and like nuts in it, and it's like
It's not just green.
yeah,
It's not oppressively green.
exactly.
It's not just a head of kale that someone put a little bit of olive oil on and called it a salad.
And then charged you $20 for it. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just a good ass restaurant.
And some good ass salad.
Mhm.
Probably preferable to the chicken nuggets.
You know, chicken nuggets have their time and place. Just wasn't today. Like you have a new friend in you have a friend an old friend in town. You should celebrate, right? You shouldn't just get a bag of chicken nuggets from the grocery aisle and then warm those up when we get back. Like,
Excuse you, I'm getting artisanal chicken nuggets.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
This was established. There's like a hipster chicken nugget place.
I forgot about that. Oh, Hunt is the worst, actually. Never mind.
I think that's a real thing. Like in the world that we live in.
I wish that I was surprised by that.
Yeah. I think it's in New York.
Of course it's in New
I think
York.
they have the chain location in Toronto.
Oh my god. That it was successful enough to have a chain location is kind of surprising. I am surprised by that.
People like chicken nuggets, I guess.
People like chicken nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think we talk about?
I think it's like, well, I want to let the two of you catch up, right? And I volunteer a little bit of information about like what we do, what the Cenotaph is all about, and what and how Tower has been, like what Tower does in the squad. When do you think this is in like the timeline? What mission do we just get back from?
I think I'm inclined to say we just got back, or we're just about to go out to wander. Just to be mean.
Cool. Yeah, perfect.
Like, this is like 2 days. This is during our downtime. This is like 2 days before we go off on the wander mission.
Then yeah, let's see. The mission before that was the Society for Wider Understanding, right? Infiltrating that and yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Great.
Austin, correct us if we're wrong.
Then I get to extol how incredibly useful and thoughtful you were during that mission.
Yay!
Got us the key card. Got us, got just helped out a bunch. Got a job. Got intel from that weirdo. Fucking put their number on the line for us. It was
a burner phone. It's fine. It was not a burner phone. How is it a burner phone? Because they know they're going to get told off by their circus friend for it.
God, I bet that's not the first time that's happened too.
Yeah, they get periodic "you up" texts from just like 8 different people that they've had to give their number to.
I think this turns into a very kind roast of Tower as your friend. You should name this friend, I think. But as they like bounce back and forth with Dredge over like your habits, it's good.
Yeah. Let me get a random word generator up. I think her first name is Saul.
Cool.
And I don't have a last name.
Saul Sincere?
Oh, I like that. That's good. Okay.
Cool. So Saul Sincere and I are just fucking roasting you.
Yep.
And it's good.
Yeah. That's very blessed. I'm gonna change my. I realized I had a contact name that we never used in my. So I'm just gonna change that because it's a better name than the one I had, and the contact had never come up. Yeah, I think that's good. I think like, especially sort of remembering the kind of gentle ribbing there, and like, oh hey, yeah, this person, at least for a while there, was my friend. Like, and you know, maybe Co could be my friend again. With like various angsty noises. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove that. I think
I'm also gonna remove mine because I think that this is like acknowledging that we make kind of shitty coworkers. But I do actually enjoy, outside of work, and like spending time with Tower. Like I would be extremely happy if I never had to rely on you in a professional context ever again. But, like, it'd be nice to fucking catch a movie or get lunch and like be friends, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not perfect, but
yeah. So I'm it's kind of like, yeah, I am being hypocritical because you can't and won't take on those responsibilities, and I shouldn't be asking you to when I can barely handle it myself.
Yeah. Yay!
Yay!
Personal resolution ish. Not really. Kind of. Realizing that we actually like each other as people. And not in a work context, because work sucks.
Work does suck.
Yeah. Especially when it involves a lot of corpses.
Just a ton of corpses and a lot of people dying.
Yeah.
And getting hurt very badly.
It's bad. Can I do one last question?
Absolutely.
And then we narrate repairing the mech. I think okay. Do you remember when we played that trick on Scratch?
Oh, which trick? You got to tell me.
I think this was, yeah. So this was something we did. I think this was something that in that sort of 6-month chunk of like time, I think there was a day where like spirits were high, like around the end of that chunk when like things were getting better and we were sort of like at a point where we were not entirely reconciled, but chill enough with each other that we could be like hanging out. And Pitchfork roped us into changing all of Scratch's like programmed in outfits into just like oppressively beige normcore like outfits.
Oh god, that was so painful for me. Oh, I hated that trick, but it was so fucking funny.
You were crucial to its success. I'm not the gay that can program. They looked so horrified. I never want to see them in beige again.
Black slacks and brown shoes?
Ugh.
Not even a daring faux pas. Just basic ass mistake.
Just sad.
Do you think that maybe keyed into them sending us to get that fucking
that was like 2 weeks later, yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
I think maybe we should stop playing pranks on an AI that can send us to our deaths.
We're already getting sent to our deaths anyway. Like,
You know, you make a good point.
we might as well do it while making our boss beige. Like, they may as well be resentfully sending us to our deaths.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've done anything that warrants being sent to our deaths, but at least not in this case.
Well, we went to war, and that's basically what that is.
Yeah. Are you talking about the war or the scratch prank war? That was in character.
The war, I think. I probably Dredge just laughs at that.
Well, either way, we'll go down eventually. Might as well have fun while we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tower, like pops open a panel in the mech, and it like reveals like one of the things that was just like fucking up something. How do we want to narrate how this gets fixed?
Yeah, it's like actually finds where the I feel like it's a tangle, right? Like the way that I imagine the inside of the Magpie is a lot of tubes and rods sort of bound together.
Is there loose fluid involved? I get the sense that there's loose fluid involved.
Loose fluid. I am
like is how it manages to just sort of compress itself just because it's kind of just jiggly.
God, I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
Anyway, is it wet in there? I don't think it's wet in there. I think there's fluid that moves in through the tubes, but I don't think there is like interstitial fluid. I think it's just a lot of rods. And the thing is, like, I think the wrist got really tangled up, and so this whole time has been like unraveling that knot and like finally finding the end of that actually broke, and then sort of wrenching that back into place.
Yeah, that's
kind
good.
Of. The mech still has the Magpie still has the status wonky, so we did our best.
We did our best.
Short,
wonky
like,
is the best it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Without Dredge actually climbing in their core self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Tower did their best.
Then proceed to the final game, testing the waters.
Yay.
Okay. Setup. Both players describe one detail about the cockpit. Mechanic describe what of the mech systems are not working. Pilot describe one feature that the mech can do now that it was not able to do before.
I think should it be a current detail or past or like a new detail?
I don't. What?
Like, should it be something that was pre-established or something that's new?
It can be something new.
I think Tower added like a little. How is actually? I'm gonna ask you a question because I don't know how the Magpie works. How is the Magpie like steered?
It's a really good question that I've been coasting on not answering. I think it's I think it's weirdly puppety. There are like the like cross things that you use to
Like marionette.
Yeah. And there's like I think there's a number of them, like per arm. I think, just sort of staggered around the seat of the
Thanks,
cockpit.
I hate it.
And I think in motion, they can be like grabbed and driven manually, but they also move independently when needed, so that the Magpie can do a bunch of things that a person could not do with all of their arms.
Okay. I
And
think
some levers and stuff that,
yeah, some levers and things. Some switches to flip. I think Tower, just like while they were up in there just like working on stuff, I think they put like teeny tiny little flower stickers on little things. Not in a mechanical way. I think like just like in one of the minutes where there was like an awkward silence or whatever, they just like started to stick little teeny tiny little paper like washi tape flower little flowers on things. Because they so now it matches the mantis because they've painted all of the inside of the mantis with flowers and like spilling out of the cockpit chassis.
that's really cute.
And I think they've been doing this to all of the Cenotaphs obvious when they've gotten the chance to like help with the repairs, but this is the first time since they started doing it that they've helped with the mantis. So I think that's the new thing for the cockpit. Nothing mechanical, just little flower stickers. Matchy matchy.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the new thing. So I guess I'll describe what of the mech systems are not working.
No, I describe what of the mech systems are not working.
Okay. Oh right, it's a new detail. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that over the bullet hole in the screen, which we just did not replace, we did get it to boot up again, so it's like a fucking cracked phone. But over the bullet hole is a cross of that washi tape in like a little bandage shape. That's the new thing.
Cute. That's so good. That's incredibly good. Boop boop doop. So I describe what of these systems are not working. Boop 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 boop. I think because it's still got the sort of harm wonky, right?
Yes.
I think like when they were repairing the Nell, the balance got thrown off. So it's like the Nell still works, but I think the automatic balancing systems don't. And I think like it means that, or are faulty anyway, and I think that means that Dredge has to stabilize, like has to monitor the stability of the Avi core self.
I really like that. That's really good.
Yay. And so you describe one feature that the mech can do now that it was not able to do before.
I think that while we're repairing this, we're also sort of replacing sections of the hull, or the skin. And I think as part of that, certain sections don't get reattached in the way that they were originally. And so the Magpie can squirm around inside of its skin.
contempt. I'm taking a scar token again. I can't believe you did this to me. That's terrible. I hate it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
It's a bad mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Conducting the game. The bolder player asks the first question from the list below. Then the players alternate turns asking from the questions list below until each person has asked 2 questions. This is the bolder player, not the bolder character, which I think is an important distinction.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm not feeling particularly bold.
So that's me then. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am baby.
That's fine. I'm just reading end game really quick. After each person asks 2 questions, go to the concluding. Just decide which of you leads the scene first. They'll answer the concluding, and then the other player will answer the second question. Okay, cool. All right. So the first question from the list below is: the lights inside turn off for a moment. When they come back and illuminate my face, what emotion do you feel first?
So I think so you've kind of climbed into the Magpie and are kind of testing things out.
Mhm.
And I think because you've got your mask off, it's a whole thing. And I think, I think when the lights first turn on, they turn on in sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So they like chunk, chunk, chunk on. And I think for a second, like with all of the bandaging and all of the, like, scarring on your face, I think Tower for a second sees Dredge looking furious under the lighting, and then another light comes on and it's gone, and it was a trick of the shadow. And I think they're scared for a second there.
Yeah.
At this moment, something causes you to laugh. What is it?
I think the lights come on in sequence, and then I look at you and I look up and I wait, and there's a chime that happens whenever the Magpie restarts. That happens like just a sec. I'm like, wait, hang on, something's wrong, and then in the middle of my sentence, the chime goes off, and it cracks me up.
Yep, that's very good. That's extremely good.
Mm-hmm. I fumble awkwardly trying to use a control panel. How do you help?
I think Tower, because Tower sort of got like a grate at the bottom of the cockpit still open, and I think they like jump down the grate. They do not land gracefully. You hear like a very quiet like shit at the bottom. Quiet and with much feeling. Shit. You hear like a nut. No. You hear like a little washer or something like go like scattering off into the darkness. And they like take out, I don't know, their tools. It's sci-fi. That can do what I want. So they take out their stuff and like tweak a bunch of stuff. and it takes like 2 minutes, but now the controls are a lot more fluid. Like before, they had been really sort of sticky. Just like for a while there, because of the damage to the Avi, it just sort of felt like you were fighting against it to try to get it to do anything.
Yeah.
And I think they do some tweaking, they loosen some stuff, they like tighten some other stuff. I don't know how mechs work. And then they like climb back up, and they've got like, I think they ran their fingers through their hair at some point, which is still in this terrible braid. So there's like grease in their hair. It's bad.
Perfect.
And they just sort of pop up from the belly of the Magpie. In this moment, our gazes linger on each other. What emotion do I see from your face?
There's a wistfulness. I think that it's a look of like I think that Dredge is really happy to have that off of court chest and to have them the Magpie back in working order, and so there is gratitude and there is a fondness and a undercurrent of realizing that this is probably like that Ko wants more of this, more of being friends, and realizing that it's probably not going to happen. That it, and like this fear that like maybe it doesn't come across then. What Tower can see is a smile that gets distant.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. I think Tower sort of matches that smile and like dives back into the core of the Magpie for a second, like retrieving something that they left down there. And by the time they pop back up, I think we're sort of leaving the mech.
Yeah.
As you leave the cockpit, concluding questions, because we just did 2 each. As you leave the cockpit, what regrets come to your mind? And do you think we should be saying these out loud, or I assume so.
Yeah, like it's a game about talking.
I don't know. I'm dumb.
No problem. So just after you answer this, go to the concluding. Decide between the two of you who leaves the scene first. Probably Tower.
Yeah.
Since Dredge is still sort of reacclimating herself to the controls and what it feels like to be in the Magpie now.
Yeah. Okay. That works.
So you answer the first, and I will answer the second.
I think, I think Tower obviously regrets, like, screwing up, but I think the biggest thing is I think they really regret not being too afraid to make meaningful reparations. Being too afraid to fix things in a way that would stick. And I think like they were so scared that them trying, like they tried to fix things in the little ways, but forgot about trying to fix the big things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they regret that. Yeah. When you see the others back turn to leave, what words reach your lips? What words reach your lips that you have said earlier? Do you say them now?
You know, when you can step out of your head for a second, you do some incredible work.
I assume that's said out loud.
Mm-hmm. It's like, thanks for the help.
And I think you just get like a thumbs up over the shoulder, and like the camera can see the Tower is just like grinning as they sort of climb down the ladder from the Magpie. And I think because this is earlier in the game than in the Cenotaph canon, than we're currently at, like this went in a similar direction to how I had kind of assumed it was going to. And like last session or the session before last session, like I think Tower has started to recognize that Dredge is not the infallible creature that they thought Ko was.
Holy shit.
No, like a
no, that they thought Dredge was ever infallible is just incredible to me.
Because they're a dumb kid who like grew up under a strict hierarchy. And like they had been assuming that the leader is the leader and the leader is infallible for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And like I think there was a moment in the game, the last game, where they sort of they stepped up and they stepped up in that conversation with Scratch, and I think they were fucking scared. But like I think they saw it needed to be done, and I think they started to recognize that, oh hey, maybe pastries and throwing myself into the fire aren't the only ways to make things right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I thought that was a thing.
No, it's so good. I love that so much. Yeah, that was a long night in the Mech Bay by Magpie Mirror Test, which you can find on itch at the link that we said earlier.
Which is nestedgames.itch.io.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much, Magpie Mirror Test, for letting us use this game.
Yes, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful game. I like it a lot.
It's really good. I'm sorry we bungled your setting. But thank you for our lives. Yeah,
we should do outros. I've been Sasha. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_Renault. You can find my game dev stuff at tcabbage. Ray, where can people find you?
I can be found at Ray the Gay on Twitter, or rayinthefog.itch.io for some of the games I've been making. I'm working on a game for the Wiz Jam about building a magic item with your friends.
So good.
Yeah.
The stream, as always, is presented by You Don't Mean It In, an actual play podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a diverse rotating cast. You can find it on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, to steal Austin's last words from his very mouth, fight the war, not the soldiers. See you next time.
See you.